Top of the day to you. It is week 3, y'all. It is week 3. We are here for our business development workshop. I am your co-host, Bernard Ponder, and I'm co-hosted by
Miss Sandra Burton over here in Decatur. Where is greater? I'm coming to you this evening with a special smile because guess what, Mr. Ponder? It's almost the holidays. So happy holidays, everybody.
Happy Holidays, right? So being week 3, man, you guys kind of heard some of the things we talked about in advance. I want to make sure I'm full screen. I see a lot of stuff going on. Let me see if I can pull it down and pull it back up. Let's see. I'm a low tech guy. Is that it? Hit that link again. Boom, boom.
Almost
Slide
time
show.
for 12 days of Christmas.
Are we at 12 days of Christmas already? Somebody let me know in the comment section. Are we at 12 days already?
I don't know. It's the
Yes, it
18th.
is.
Yes.
We are. We can way inside of that. Let's go. So this is week 3 business developments for you guys who are looking to build your cash flow. All businesses are typically founded by a C, a creative service or a product that supports that service that has an executive board team of an odd number 3, 5, or 7. So when it comes to voting on what the business is going to do next on the creative side, the financial side, or even the marketing side, it's an even fair exchange of ideas and a collective effort to move everything forward. Ms. Burton, we live in school, aren't we?
Absolutely. Every day.
Every day, man. We got a
That's where
lot
the
of
cool
free
kids hang
trainings.
out.
What cool kids hang out.
Yeah.
See, some of my friends never believe me. I was never a guy who ever skipped school. Like I know I had my fun, I did my thing, but I always was in class, man. I
School
just
is in.
felt that's where the cool kids were at, so I had to be around them. So small business owners, where y'all at? Drop your businesses in the comment section. If you have a business idea, say, hey, look, I want to start a business. Hey, I have a business. Hey, here's my business page. Get your promotion on right now because the thing is, we're going to share this in a lot of different groups later. We're going to share this video in different places later. We're not going to do it right now. And that's the thing, right, Ms. Burton? People don't see all the things that happen to the content later. My mentor always said, he said, a picture's worth 1,000 words. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video has to be worth at least 10 million.
Let's go.
Let's get it. So there are 4 steps to becoming your own CEO. I love even numbers, so I'm not gonna take even numbers because I always do that with Berg. When you take even numbers, I do the odd ones.
Absolutely. The very first thing you need to do if you're actually working on becoming your own CEO is identify your accountability partner. We
All right, all
also
right.
use that word as sometimes we say AP. So if you hear us say those initials of AP, that means your accountability partner.
You didn't hear what I said, and somebody gonna laugh at it watching this recording. I said I usually take the even numbers. I said I take the odd ones for you. We good,
I'm
but
sorry,
that's
you're
different.
not taking an odd number.
Right. You good. So week 2, y'all, is all, or step 2 is every single week, man. And again, this is for anybody who want your own business. You ain't got to tell us you're doing no business, but we're just here in the community saying, listen, if you got a business, go for that thing, man. If you got something that you think you can provide and put your bills on autopilot, attempt these steps. Attempt doing it on your own first. But then if it doesn't work out for you, come to work with some people who've been doing this for over 10 years plus, and let us share some of the things that we have overcome to help you continue to build your business as well. So I will take number 2. Number 2 has to do about writing out your personal development plan. Before everything in business comes off your foundational principles like spiritual growth, like family and friendship growth, before you can get in business and have to work with customers and clients and partners who are still people as well.
Week 3 is write out your business development plan. If you don't know what that is, guess what? We're going to give you all the details to come.
Today, in week 4, and step 4 is all about mastering your system. If you can get really good with doing these first 3 steps on repeat, you'll do way better in life. So let's get going. All right. Here's a quick recap of week 1, man. Week 1 is all about what is understanding what a CEO. Everybody in them has a creative service. Everybody in them has a creative product. We kind of talked that in in the preview. I'm a dancer. I got a creative service. Somebody can pay me to teach somebody how to dance, right? Somebody can pay me for my service of showing people how to play drums. I'm an amazing snare drum player. You got to see my record, right? But the thing is that even if I'm just a percussionist or a dancer, I shouldn't be doing the financial stuff myself. Even if that's my main service, the understanding what a CEO is, they don't do every piece of the business. They delegate that through an amazing team. It shouldn't be the person doing the social media stuff. But we're going to break down a few of those today. But exactly, the number one thing you should always do is always, if you're the CEO, make sure you have options. Make sure you're working towards opportunities and goals, right? Identifying your marketing accountability partner is definitely number one, right? We said number one thing is if you get you a map or an AP, like Ms. Burton said, is they should be helping you create a system. And system stands for save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. How many people ever worked at McDonald's? They send you to the back and they say, look, go read the Mac handbook. And most companies that you start with have an SOP, a standard operating procedures. The same thing for your percussion business. The same thing for your dance business. You should have an SOP or a system. Most importantly, number two is a system of duplication where you actually ILT in this thing every single week for 24 hours a month. I like how that sounds. 6 hours a week. But investing into your mindset, learning your new skill set, but teaching and training the people around you how you guys can get better. That's what we call the system of duplication when starting out your business. What was week two about?
Week two recap is pretty much personal development. That is what you love this week. Because, however, a lot of people, this is you have to rinse and repeat. They never get past this because there's some things going on in life. I.e., we've all been there. So how do you do it? Well, you gotta identify what are your top priorities. Believe it or not, your top priorities. We have asked people this over and over and over. Most people say my whoever I worship, of course, my family, and then I got to get to the money. So we say this is spirit, and family. Well, if you're working on your spirit, how are you working on it? Are you listening to radio audio? Reading, are you reading and you listening to audio? That means if you have any favorite podcasts, any favorite authors, are you reading and actually taking notes on what they're saying for improvement? Are you writing it down? Are you journaling? Next, are you praying and meditating? Okay, and as far as the family, what are you eating? So your nutrients. Are you exercising? Are you doing some form of muscle strength, cardio, hit exercise? What are you doing to get that heart rate up? Or what are you doing now to stay calm in this hectic world? And last but not least, are you cleaning? Are you cleaning your environment? Are you cleaning your body? Are you cleaning your car? Are you cleaning your house? What are you doing? So that part of it is that's the personal side of it. A lot of people like to say this is kind of on a self care side. But Mr. Ponder, week two is very, very important in anybody's life.
Oh, they always say what goes in you comes out. And the beautiful thing is when you have those hard times at the business counter and the exchange of money, hey, I need a refund. Oh, the product didn't come back out right. Oh man, my son didn't learn nothing from your percussion class. Are you spiritually in tune enough to know how to respond to that? Can you take those 3 seconds out as a professional and listen to understand versus just listening to rapidly come back with a response? We've always been told that professionals ask questions. I would love for more people in my community just ask more questions. You know how many times a day I've talked with somebody and I ask, hey man, where you from? Oh, that's dope, man. What you do for a living? I mean, how long you been doing that? I mean, what do you like to do for fun? Man, well, that's great. What do you see us up in the next 2 to 3 years? And they don't ask me one thing about myself. You ever seen any of those type of relationships? It's like,
Absolutely.
how do we grow if I'm the only one being interested in you?
I think a lot of times when people you're talking to people like that, they just don't have the I want to say nerves to say I'm not interested. However, they keep like nodding in or whatever. Um, that's kind of weird because at any time, if you really don't want to answer those questions, you can respectfully, of course, say, right, I'm not right now. I'm not in the mood to talk. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's not even just with business, right? In personal relationships, there's always a question and answer kind of thing for the simple reason that the people who ask questions are looking for solutions.
Mhm.
In math, they say what is 1 plus 1? And then you give what? 1 plus 1 equals 2. However, if the question is never asked, the solution is never given. In the good book, shout out to Spirit being on the screen. And somewhere in the book it says, God says, ask for it. I don't even know in my mind right now, but I know in the book somewhere it says, ask and you shall receive. But the thing is we don't have because we don't ask, right? So just something on my mind. I love that. Widely important goals. We call these the 6 wings of personal development. I'm gonna show you guys in a second how you can turn some of the things that you're going through and growing through into content that actually relates to so many different people for your potential business and service. So here we are, week 3. Week 3 or step 3 about becoming a better business owner is all about writing out your business development plan. And again, you guys, y'all see in my logo, there's people in the options. You write out a business plan because you want options, you want opportunity. But you see a female here and you see a man here. Not saying that all business relationships have to be female or man. It can be however you want it. However, you can go through the C, the E, all by yourself. However, you can go so much further if you work well with others. All right. So writing out your weekly business development plan, you guys, y'all heard me talk about the 6-hour work week. Admin Monday. Can somebody put that in their notes? In our private school community, I'm gonna look y'all in your eyeballs, right? In our private school community, we have at the top of the week, we go through all of these steps at the top of the week. So you won't have to be on Thursday pushing to execute your strategies to the best of your ability with Friday in the rims. What are people doing on Friday?
Most of them are either relaxing because they worked the whole week, or they're out with friends, or just really just I would say partying maybe.
Getting ready to party if they're not already on Thursday Junior. But from the typical cash asset cash flow conversation is if the first cash comes from your W-2 and you're starting your week of business on Friday, most people mentally are already going from doing any kind of work. So this is why we encourage people to come to the school, get some of this stuff at the beginning of the week, because we write out all of these different plans that you want to execute so you make it a little bit simpler for you. Admin Monday. Make sure you write out your business plan for the week. Write out your personal plan for each week. Today, we want to actually go in and share with you guys a few steps. All right. And step 1 was simply financial planning. Ms. Burton, I know financial planning and marketing planning, you've been killing it with bringing up some of the stuff about finances throughout the week. You can share some of your thought process on planning for finances.
Absolutely. We look at it in 3 buckets. I just said without, any hesitation, the cash flow management. That's really, really easy. That is when we say 3 down, 1 up. What do we need to get? What 3 do we need to get down in our finances? Here we go. The first thing we just said, these bills. I don't know about y'all. Every time I turn around, I gotta turn the heater on or the electric fan, heater. All of that costs money. So let's work on getting these bills down. The second thing is debt. If you have a car, if you have a home, all of that is debt, credit card debt. Let's get some of this debt down. Last but not least, Mr. Ponder just said people are paying most of their money out in taxes. Yes, you made $100,000, but how much of that $100,000 did you bring home? Let's get these taxes down. Last, we need to get this credit score up. I say this and I say this every week. There are 4 different credit scores. If you don't know what those are, get with somebody that's clever enough to teach you what they are. I don't know, matter of fact, those of you that are commenting right here on the other screen, matter of fact, if you know what those 4 credit scores are, let me know in the chat box. Before we end, I'll tell you, because I don't want to leave nobody hanging. Last but not least, business income. Mr. Ponder, you always say, hey, yeah, the questions are money driven, but they have to be asked from the marketing department. This is where I pull down and say, Mr. Ponder, what questions do the marketing department need to ask when it comes down to the finances?
For business income?
Yes.
Every week when you plan it out, how much did you project to earn last week? And from what top service or what top product? What was your goal? If you aimed at nothing, is it safe to say you're gonna hit nothing?
Yep.
So, second question is, how much did you actually earn last week? Right? Very good question. And see, the thing is, a lot of times, Miss Burton, is that people only look at that second question when they make something. You ask yourself, how much did you make last week? Well, shoot. You ever seen people talk about their business when their business made some money?
Mhm.
What about the days when their business didn't make no money? Right?
You don't hear from them. Right.
Yeah, it's no excitement, right? We get back into the lab, as we all should. But the third question in business income that is always asked by the marketing department, because what we're going to talk about today, offline, online strategies, right? Is what do you want to earn this week? See, at the top of the week in our school community, we're always asking everybody, hey, put that at the top of the week. You got 4 or 5 days this week to make your number. What's your number? We started the conversation off by knowing your numbers. So those are three questions. What did you earn last week? What did you want to earn last week? What did you earn last week? And what do you want to earn this week? Professionals
Okay,
ask
marketing
questions.
department. We will definitely get those numbers to you. We will make sure we get them because we have to have something called analytics, and we like to hear where there's history. So last but not least is investment income. Mr. Ponder, this is so important. When you're working with a person that is a professional and expert in the financial world, we always like to talk about a 50-30-20. Well, working with
Mm.
the right person, we're going to switch the 30 for 20. And how you're going to do that, you're going to take some of those wants. All I need is just 10% of those wants, and let's switch them down into the investment. Now we have a 50, 30, 20, but the 30 becomes your investment side. And that is one is, do you have a mini emergency account? Okay, you say, Sandra, what is a mini emergency account? Well, that is between $600 and $3,000 that now becomes residual income, meaning that we need you to save this money because is it safe to say, Mr. Ponder, mistakes, just emergencies happen? You
Mm.
could be driving one day and run off the road, and now your 3 or 4 tires are bust, or now you got damage. Where are you gonna get that money from? See, we're not gonna go and charge up a credit card. We're not gonna do no Cash America Ton or none of that. We're not gonna go to the title places and do any of that. No, we're encouraging you. Do you have to do it overnight? Absolutely not. We will bite the elephant in small chunks until we have this number. You may say, well, what is the number? That's a wide range. Well, sit down with a professional or expert and allow them to help you create that number. Because a lot of times, Mr. Punter, we're not great in everything. So if you're not great with finances, you're not great with now investment income, sit down with a professional expert and let them explain it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
as far as your emergency money, now that is all of your expenses times 6 months. We don't know what it is. I know my number. Mr. Ponder know his number. Do you know your number? See, Mr. Ponder, if that was in place, do you feel like that person would be worried back here, what was that, a month and a half ago when the government was shut down?
Not at all.
Absolutely. You always have to plan for tomorrow. Last but not least is now your financial freedom account. Most people like to say as an easy shortcut, your retirement. What does that number look like? Well, do you want to live the same lifestyle you're living now? Well, you got to save the way inflation is going. Or you may say, I want to totally downsize. That's cool. That's okay. What does that number look like? But Mr. Ponder, sometimes every now and then I talk to the person that say, you know what? I'm about to live. I'm about to go move to Florida and live my last good years out on the beach. Well, that could be a little bit above what you're currently doing. Mr. Ponder always say, what's your past, what's your current, and what is your future? So if your future is to live above what you're doing now, then sit down with that expert, sit down with that professional so they can make sure that your savings is growing in the rate that inflation is as well.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Second part of always executing a business plan, man. Major focus of this week is marketing, guys. Always somebody write in the comment section, out of sight, out of mind. If a person didn't know that Bernard can help people with financial and marketing experts that'll put time and money in your balance, they would never know. They would go look for a course. My mentor always said, what I'll tell you for free, you're gonna pay somebody hundreds and thousands of dollars for it. This is why we're making sure that we put this out front We show you guys our school and some of the detailed conversations we have, and we even giving those one-on-one conversations as well because we like to partner with business people, right? Partnerships take you so much further. That's why we go back to the all the time is you can go further with a team, but we can go fast, hustling, navigating through some of these things. But that's the most important. Offline and marketing, okay? Offline and online, excuse me. When you're thinking about your percussion class, right? Shouldn't we be promoting that offline?
Absolutely.
And if we're teaching dance or percussion as our two services that we offer, hey guys, don't look out. I might have a percussion class coming soon. Shout out all my drummers, my percussion players. What up? All right. But if I start a percussion class, right, shouldn't I also be promoting it online?
Absolutely.
And the thing is that professionals use tools, right? Because we want to leverage everything. Robert Kiyosaki said that business ownership is nothing more than having people work with you to help you make money. So why wouldn't we utilize tools like social media, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the TikToks, the whatever, the apps, the AI tools, right? Why not utilize the tools to create leverage? The first billionaire in the world was not the first millionaire in America, but he said, I'd rather earn 1% off of 100 other people's efforts than off 100% of my own. Because if anything ever happened to me, my online video is still going to be able to talk my stuff with or without me. That makes sense? So one of the things I know that we also have is Turo, right? For example, in our Turo, I know I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. I can't. Let me see. Right? An example. You guys see this?
We can't.
You can't. All right. It says welcome aboard.
Oh, now we can.
All right. You see that one says CEO Therapy Mobile Massage, right? Shout out to Pink Ice Novelty. What is Pink Ice Novelty?
Oh, that is an amazing company that we bling any and everything out, and it doesn't matter what it is.
Shout out to the socks that look like the hats that match the shirt. They'll be doing everything.
Hey, Mr. Ponder, I might even bling you out.
Come on. If it don't bling, you gotta throw that thing away. Hey, you ain't throwing me white. No. Right? So you see these? So even in our two-row cars, we made it. What is this? Offline marketing materials. Your business needs some kind of marketing materials so that while you're not there, while one of our vans on the cars is just going all across the country, our business is being marketed offline with or without us being there. So this is why we talk about offline marketing. I got my book bag near me. Old school. I know a lot of people don't do these no more, but why not? Why not have a business card, right? That promotes your business with or without you being there. One of the things one of my mentors told me back in the day is, man, do business card pickup. I'm gonna talk to you guys about some money making activities towards the end of this. However, I know you're looking for your cards. Sandra got cards. No,
Yeah, a lot of
sister, right?
Oh, not to mention the Airbnb resources we share for Bernard's mobile massage company. Can you imagine coming in town and you're renting a Airbnb and the QR code is there and all you do, it goes directly to the it goes directly to the phone and we can see it and everything is coordinated like butter. So you gotta work with like-minded people to, kind of put you on things that work. So shout out to everybody. Matter of fact, if you have an Airbnb and you want to include that in your description, inbox either of us, let us know. A lot of people make really, really good on the Airbnb and having a mobile massage here in Atlanta. So shout out to that. Like for real.
If you know, you know. They go. All right, so that's just some things for marketing. One of the things I see you got on, I ain't in my gear right now, but offline marketing strategy. What's your shirt say? It's a lot of money. Money is my
money making investments.
Investor, right? What's good about t-shirts branding? It allows for you to be brand awareness. Somebody write that in the comment section. One of the first, definitely if you're getting into ad campaigns, one of the best ad campaigns to run is a brand awareness campaign because if you're looking at a funnel, a sales funnel, the majority of your people are going to be the random people who come into just being nosy. Shout out to everybody who's being nosy who's just hearing this video because they see two amazing people online talking about finances and marketing from their community, right? But some people are just nosy. But the whole purpose of having a funnel is to sort out or shake everybody out who's just playing around. One of my first guys I got in business with, he says, beware of the tire kickers. Put that in notes. Somebody put that in notes. Beware of tire kickers, people who waste time. This is why professionals ask questions. We need to get to the point. In business, there is no emotions. Hey, you want this massage or you don't want this massage? You want these shoes or you don't want these shoes? It's no in between in the transaction process, right?
So the next person is right there waiting, saying, "Hey, I do."
Hey, excuse me, I'll be back to you. That's what they do at Foot Locker. Hey, them gamblers out. Hey, look, you're not sure if you want to pay the 240. This man got 260. He gonna give us a tip to get him. So I'll be. You see what I'm saying? Business is just like that. So just for you guys, that's the personal development side that you got to listen to some mental stuff to kind of be prepared for war and people, because people gonna people, right? So marketing. We talked about business cards. You talked about flyers. You talked about t-shirts, right? Online marketing. I always encourage people to build your entrepreneur page. I encourage you guys to be like Tyler Perry, be like a Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, whoever, right? You're billionaire. I would say Diddy, but yeah, he got some stuff going on right now. So, but nonetheless, is that most business owners, even on Facebook, have business professional pages. A lot of you guys start businesses and still do it on Facebook's regular Facebook pages. The metaverse is a real thing. Anybody seen the Spider Verse? Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse thing, it was a whole different world. So some of you guys who don't know about that, the power of being able to write statuses, pictures, and videos, Facebook groups and things like that are the only places on most social media platforms that allow you to do all three outside of LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, you can't show everything or any kind of service or product. Is that making sense?
Some of the things are banned, meaning that it's not acceptable in the platform.
All right. So key thing is we don't want to be too long. We want to go ahead and wrap this thing up, but our thing is just to kind of bring you guys some value every single week. One of the major things I wanted to share with you guys is the circle of profit. And before I do, I want you guys to put in the comment section 5 P's and MMA. 5 P's and MMA. What do I mean by that? 5 P's is your money making activity. When you learn the 5 P's of most business production, it allows you to stay very productive. And the thing is that when you start lacking on some of the first 2 or 3 things, you'll see why your product or your passion profits are not as good as the days that you focus on the first 1 to 3 different things. Phase one on the screen showed you guys traffic, opt-in pages, autoresponders, right? Traffic, opt-in pages, autoresponders. In the first 3 P's of money making activities, when you're doing these 6 hours per week, 24 hours in a whole month on your business, can you take at least 2 hours in a whole week to work on traffic? Can you work on 2 hours working on how does your system have people opt in? Can you work 2 hours a week to figure out how well your presentation or your autoresponder broadcast is? See, the first 3 P's is prospects, peaking interest, and passing information. Is it safe to say, Sandra, you can't grow a business if you don't ever pass the customer no information, right?
Unfortunately, you can't.
You walk in a restaurant and they don't have a menu in front of them. They don't have the TVs in the back. You don't present nothing to them. They can't buy nothing. All right. So some of these things are just basic things that you got as an entrepreneur. As a business owner, you got to understand that you got to take advantage of and understand how to strengthen your phase one. Prospects, that's people. Good people, bad people. Sort them out. Sort means search out the right talent. When you sort them out, you put them in that opt-in page. You pique their interest. Some of you guys who are in our school community, I appreciate all y'all tapping in. I see y'all in the chat. Thank y'all. Let's keep growing. Let's keep building this thing. But I want some of you guys to get better with your peak interest and your passing swag, how you're able to do it with ease and build relationships along the journey. Business is about building relationships and then getting them to your automated broadcast or presentation. Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm.
You guys saw me pull up on my screen here, even our luxury businesses, right? My mobile massage practice here, right? But also, my screen is all messed up, right? Right? Pink Eyes Novelty. I'm just giving you guys examples of some of the businesses and services and products that we're offering just on a part-time basis. It says once you do your autoresponder, you guys should be able to split left or right. Depending on the person that you're talking with, that's a potential customer. Hey, do you want to lead them to your passion product? Like me, my massage practice is one of my passion products. Or do I want to lead this person to my affiliate product, like my home-based business that gives people financial and marketing experts to help them fund and promote their business? Depending on the conversation, I want y'all to listen to that. Depending on the answers they give me, I'm gonna sort them left or right. Right? Sandra, it's safe to say you can do one-on-one coaching with this person, or you can move into insurance, or you can move them to pink ice. You can move them to Toro. You got options on what to actually divert them to when you guys get to the presentation standpoint. Is that making sense?
And if they're not feeling well and they got some pain or whatever, I'm gonna actually book them with CEO therapy. Shout out to CEO therapy. We don't talk about CEO.
Let's see. All right, but nonetheless, even if it's a no for your passion product, affiliate product, one of the things about building business we talked about in week 2 is invite them to something.
Yep.
Invite them somewhere. Invite them to your Facebook page. Invite them to your TikTok, wherever you're putting out the most content. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all see on the screen says cart monetization. If you're not getting paid from Facebook, you tripping. Facebook. Why am I bringing up Facebook, Sandra? Because a guy who be talking about Jesus popping say he make $250 million on Facebook, but people still not putting up no videos on Facebook. The check that I get from Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate it, right? Monetization is the easiest thing. You don't even have to have a business to be making money on Facebook right now. I'm talking Facebook because I'm on Facebook making money outside of all these other things that we're talking about. Is that safe?
Yep. And you
So,
make it sleep too.
and you wake up to some nice things too. So, all this 14 years, what we at 16, going on 10 years, is because it's this rip off and duplicate. That ILT, you invest time and money into learning something so you can teach something new. I'm at my time marker right here, right? So I just want to give them a little something for you guys who don't know where this information comes from. This comes from the book. It's read by Emmett Single and forwarded by Robert Kiyosaki. This book is forwarded by Robert Kiyosaki and it's called The Circle of Profit, right? How to turn your passion into $1 million. Again, how to turn your passion into $1 million. $1 million playbook right there on the screen. So, Sandra, I want to encourage them, right, to book a free discovery conversation. Can you break down some of this and I'll close this out?
Absolutely. If you go ahead and book this discovery conversation, we're going to give you a one-on-one strategy with either Mr. Ponder, your map. He hashtags it all the time, the CEO map. However, you can also get a one-on-one section with me, a FAP, which is your financial accountability partner. Remember, we said we're going to be using that AP back and forth. That is what it stands for. Also, you're going to get the PDF of the 4 steps, how to utilize those 4 steps of becoming your own CEO. We're going to give you that. Also, we're going to give you access to 2 of our different groups. You want to be, when you're a business owner, Mr. Pond, you want to be everywhere because that is your networking. If your networking is your net worth, then let's do some networking. The first group we're going to give you access is called our Creative Execution Officer Group, which that is in the Facebook platform. The next one is we're going to plug you in our school community where we talk about and share a lot of different things when it comes down to your business, even your personal side. However, it is more of a centralized place, exactly kind of like what it sounds like. We're going to be teaching you and giving you things that just grow you as an overall individual.
And there's a lot of testimonials in there of people sharing and working on their content. Oh man, what did I even tell them? 2 things in business development: content calendar. Somebody write in the comments, content calendar and content placement. Make sure that when you're planning out your business plan for the week, that you put together a calendar of content. Again, out of sight for online or offline marketing is crazy. Don't be out of sight, people. Give me at least 1, 2, 3, 5 pieces of content. What's the name? Country Wayne. Country Wayne says he puts out minimum 10 videos every single day and makes $250 million off Facebook. Y'all see the logo on the screen right here? That's y'all can connect with us on Facebook, right? So outside of that, man, our inner circle is a full team of gives you everybody in our inner circle gets a full team of financial experts and marketing experts helping them fund and promote their business. We do monthly one-on-one strategy sessions where we do a weekly planning hour every week. We do a weekly training hour because if you fail to plan a train, you fail on failing. You plan on failing this week. So we want to make sure that we put everybody in a position to win. Free sponsorship. And that's what we're going to be bringing to the topic next year. You guys heard that one of our new partners and projects that we're working on right now is in Chicago. Shout out to Shy Prep Academy, led by Marcus Spencer, man. Amazing gentleman. From what college he graduated from? Ole Miss. I said it right? He went to Ole Miss.
You're absolutely right. We've heard some interesting Ole Miss stories when he was in college.
Yeah, I mean, Ole Miss is an amazing school and they got a lot of history. So shout out to Chicago Prep as well. But we also, again, I said the private group changes all in advance, man. Listen, this is our creative execution officers. All of you guys are creative execution officers. All of you guys have a creative something in you. You just probably need help with executing the financial plan for it, or even the marketing plan, or both, so you can have more options and opportunities. Come back and see us next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. We'll probably start live at 7:15. But if you guys are in the inner circle like before, you guys can get on the Zoom ahead of time and chop it up. We can kind of network and like your post that you put out this week or whatever, kind of get that going. But we're here. Scan actually get access to the group. Screenshot it if you need to right now. Screenshot it. If you're on YouTube, screenshot it so you can come back and take a picture of it on your phone, however you need to, or just reach out to us personally. Either me, Bernard Punter, at the Become Your Own CEO on Facebook, and the CEO map on Instagram. I actually want to add creative execution officers on Instagram because we on creative execution officers. I'm going to be promoting a lot more business owners. We didn't talk about our app Sora today as well. So if you guys
Next
don't,
time.
yeah, we're gonna bring back some of the AI tools that we're using. We'll probably talk about it in our planning hour and our training hour in school, right? So anybody want to learn how to utilize AI to help with your content calendar, so you don't have to worry about that. We're gonna be posting some of that on the Creative Execution Officers page as well. Ms. Burton, what can people can connect and book with you at?
I did not forget. Remember, I told you I was going to give you the credit scores. What are they? What they are? I almost forgot. Okay, the first one is your main credit score. Everybody knows about that. Mr. Ponder, did you know there was a hiring credit score?
Heard about it.
Did you know there was a car credit score? Auto. Last but not least, did you know there was an insurance credit score? Yep. All four, believe it or not, in the industry, what I've just named is where they pull it. And if you've never sat down with a financial expert to pull those numbers for you so you can see where you stand, you're missing out. So as he said, you can find me at CPF Services on Instagram and on Facebook. It's spelled all the way out as Certified Platinum Financial Service, just like in the back of me. So this has been an amazing conversation, as always. And shout out to anybody that has a business or have a business, want to start a business, just want to scale a business. Share this with someone. And then relook at it over and take some notes and get back with us. We are here. Thank you, Mr. Ponder, for sharing your platform.
Anytime. Thank you for being a great vessel and support system along all of our journeys to improving our lifestyle and our legacy. See you soon. Y'all have a great weekend. Happy holidays in advance if we don't see you guys before then. But week 4, Financial Talk Tuesday, Business Development Workshop Thursday. See y'all there.